And the next in the big bands on the 2000s. And yeah, we had the Strokes, the Walkmen, and Kings of Leon. And this was the next big thing for a while. Wolf Parade. I remember loving this so much. Bob Hund, a Swedish band, a very fun band. Pixies, of course. I think I have all the albums on CDs. Of course, Modest Mouse. This was a big one for us. Released in 2004. Float On. That song was everywhere. This album was a big one by The Cure. Kent was a brilliant Swedish band. Hangs the Hill was a terrific album. Remember it getting a lot of airplay on radio in Norway. Yeah, Bright Eyes. Not sure what I think of this album now. There's something about... There's so many... Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go into everything, but yeah. Husker Du, Sun Arcade, my favorite album at that time, high school. And also Metal Circus EP that they did. And this is a punch in the face, so many cool songs. I remember really connecting with this as a young man. More Jeff Buckley. Also a favorite Bonnie Prince Billy album at the time. And this one I remember living in my car and became my mother's favorite album. She likes country music and stuff, and she actually liked Bonnie Prince Billy. Sonic Youth, 1,000 Leaves. More an instrumental, but I really need to listen to this. It actually has the song Sunday. Yeah. I'm probably confusing it with another album, but I know it's very, very, very good. More The Cure albums. Those are probably my favorite albums, the 17 Seconds and Faith and Pornography, and in that period. Broken Social Scene, yeah, cool band. Saw them live a few times. More Cure, remember getting this on its release date. And I think this is an album that doesn't quite hold up as much production-wise. You know, it was released in a big new metal period, and I don't think that suits this band at all, the production on that album. Kent is a Swedish band, and this is a brilliant album, Vapen and Ammunition. 17 Seconds, I have incoming on vinyl, actually. Hidden Cameras was a fun band. The song Band Marriage, we used to love this band. This is a Finnish, Swedish band, I guess, Laxo. Bob Mould, Workbook. Great Sonic Youth album, Dirty. This is probably more commercially accessible than the albums that came before it. Nice release there as well. Band called Explosions in the Sky. Not my favorite one of theirs, but quite cinematic and nice post-rock sounding. Here we have that from about 1979, right? Just two guys, and probably the most intense show I'd been to at that time. Yeah, this was really the highlight in their career. So many intense and great songs. I'm not sure what Focus is doing. We have Bergman Rock, which is so it's basically that band's Bob Hund singing in English, right? Yeah. Fun band, and really dug the albums at the time. Here we have Velvet Underground, of course. Yeah, remember when this came out and hearing it for the first time, being so excited by it. And I remember on a trip to Oslo, I bought it very early on. And don't know if it holds up in the same way, but yeah, it's still regarded as an indie rock classic. My interest in the Arcade Fire has been up and down throughout the years, but fond memories of that album for sure. The Cure, and this is of course Wish. So I think I have a lot of the Cure albums on CDs. The big Nine Inch Nails album, the Downward Spiral. I wonder how many times I've listened to that. More Placebo from the early 2000s. And what a great album. I'm glad I still have this to remind me this was my favorite band, was so promising when this was released. The album is called Fine Lines, the band is called My Vitriol, and is this a forgotten indie rock classic? The song Always Your Way, Grounded, Pieces. Yeah, what happened to these guys? I remember checking out some later stuff, but it took such a long time until they released the follow-ups. Yeah, kind of lost interest. Let's see what we got left. We have The Cure, surprise, surprise. Three Imaginary Boys. This must have been an early one. 2000, no, of course not, 1996. So me as an 11-year-old digging Bulls on Parade, right? Muse was a big band, and Syd Barrett. I've never really been into Pink Floyd except for the Syd Barrett stuff, so take of that as you will. I think I'm getting through this now. Whoa, yeah. Let's see. Some pieces of a Muse album. Rufus Wainwright. I was aware of Blink-182 in the 90s. Finally a 60s album, right? Zombies, singles. Elliott Smith, a lot of CDs are mixing. Mark Lanegan, Bubblegum. This is a piece of a Primal Scream album. And I also checked out Stranglers in high school. I think I'm through this now soon. So an Ash single. And we have Gish. Probably the debut of Kings of Leon, right? You wouldn't see that in the reflection. Brian from Embryonic Robot showcased this album. Flypan AM, Constellation Records. I talked to him about it because I knew when I saw his video that I should have this CD. So I found it, listened through it, and hadn't listened to it in more than 20 years, and didn't even remember how it sounded like. It was very interesting to check out again. Post-rock. Something from Pumpkins, Belle and Sebastian, Their Catastrophe Waitress. I saw them live recently, and they had a great show. We went to see the Targy Milk show. Washing Machine, one of the greater Sonic Youth albums, together with the Evil. And after the 90s, I got Melancholy because I was too preoccupied with the EPs. Bright Eyes, right? Yeah. It's a pretty decent album. I'm not sure if my interest in the band holds up. Okay. So Daydream Nation. I have a memory of this on a car ride. We were driving to Roskilde, and the driver was a metalhead, and me and my friend in the back seat, we finally had our turn to request a CD to put on. So the guy put on the CD for us, and Teenage Riot, they had a long, great intro. And the second the guitars were about to kick off, he ejected the CD, and this is boring. And he threw the CD back to us. So, yeah, I clearly remember that moment. Metalheads for you. Slow Dive. When I discovered this one, I mean, as an emotional young man discovering Slow Dive, you connect with music in it's hard to explain now, but this was something very special to discover. The first Walkman album, right? Very, very promising debut, and they had a great career. We have some evidence of interest in prog music in the court of the Crimson King by the King Crimson. And I was interested for a very brief moment, got tired of this, and probably lost interest in prog in general. So not quite my cup of tea. This was a big one by The Cure. This as well. I have the 86 single incoming on vinyl. Another washing machine for some reason. Probably stole it from someone I lived with. And fun memories of this Placebo debut. And they're doing now announced the recreated version that I'm getting, probably nostalgic and interesting to check out. You know, I played this album over and over and over again in the 90s as a young man. Some more evidence of the Britpop blur. And this is actually being released for Record Store Day. Not sure why this is. Yeah, I'm not going to pick that up. The Greatest Hits album on vinyl. Those Cure releases for Record Store Day are not very interesting for some reason. Mogwai. Do you know I had this in a collection? BBC Sessions. And I think that's about it. Not sure if I showed these two. Muse and Pixies, of course, the biggest album when I discovered this album. Clearly something I was obsessed about in the late 90s. Oh, yeah, that's it. Speedrunning through all the CDs I could find. Didn't come across the earliest ones like Dookie and Offspring and Weezer, perhaps. But that shows you what I collected as a young man, and my musical tastes in the early days. So for me, at least, this was interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the good things. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.